List of valid IDs in the Philippines. Primary and secondary IDs. A Philippine Valid Identification Card, Valid ID, or Government ID, is an essential card used in financial, government and non-government transactions in the country as a proof of the cardholder's true identity. What is important? The card should reflect the person's photo, complete name, date of birth, gender, address, and signature. The primary ID. A digitized valid ID issued by a government agency is commonly referred to as a primary valid ID. Most transactions just require at least one primary valid ID. The secondary ID. In the absence of any primary ID, a person may comply the required identification using the secondary IDs. These are IDs and documents which are acceptable to most government and non-government transactions, but not all. Here are some of the primary IDs and where you can obtain them. Philippine Passport, in the Department of Foreign Affairs, DFA. Driver's License, in the Land Transportation Office, LTO. SSS Card, in the Social Security System, SSS. GSIS Card, in the Government Service Insurance System, GSIS. UMID Card, in the Single ID Card of all SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth and PAG-guided members. PRC ID, in the Professional Regulations Commission. OWWA, in the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, OWWA. IBP ID, in the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Digitized Taxpayer's ID, in the Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR. Senior Citizens ID Card, in the Office of Senior Citizens Affairs, OSCA. Diplomat ID, in the Philippine Embassy. Voters ID, in the Commission on Election, COMELEC. Digitized Postal ID, in the Philippine Postal Corporation, PhilPost. OWWA ID, in the Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE. Here are some of the secondary ID and where you can obtain them. PhilHealth ID Card, in the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. TIN ID Card, in the Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR. Solo Parent ID, in the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD. Person with Disability, PWD, ID Card, in the National Council on Disability Affairs, NCDA, or Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD. NBI Clearance, in the National Bureau of Investigation, NBI. Police Clearance, in the Philippine National Police, PNP. Barangay Certification, in the Barangay Hall. Community Tax Certificate, Cedula, in the Barangay Hall. Seaman's Book, in the Maritime Industry Authority, Marina. Alien Certificate of Registration, ACR, or Immigrant Certification of Registration, in the Bureau of Immigration. PIA Card, in the Philippine Overseas Employment Association, PIA. Consular ID, in the Philippine Embassy. DSWD Certification, in the Department of Social Welfare and Development. PRA Special Resident Retiree Visa, in the Philippine Retirement Authority. NCWDP Certification, in the National Council for the Welfare of Disabled Persons. Firearms License, in the PNP Firearms and Explosives Office. PLRA ID, in the Philippine Leisure and Retirement Authority. PSA Birth Certificate, in the Philippine Statistics Authority. Marriage Contract, in the Philippine Statistics Authority. Student's ID, in the School Registrar's Office. Thanks for watching. Please hit like if you enjoyed the video. And feel free to subscribe if you want to stay updated. Bye.